Okay, let's do this.
Well, do what?
Let's start.
For real?
Yes.
I don't know why I always panic. Right, ready?
Every time we do this, when I go, let's start, you go, I'm not ready. Like,
Okay.
we're never ready.
And breathe.
Okay,
I can do this. It's only a couple of words.
you can.
Ready? Mm-hmm. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to our podcast.
Lez-Come-Together.
I'm Jana.
And I'm Jo.
Hi, Jo.
Hey, Banana Jana. See, you nailed that.
I did.
You do have.
Why do I panic?
What is it that suddenly triggers in you when I go, let's record, that you go, ah?
I don't know. You went and you just go and press that button, and I'm like, oh my God, what if I say something wrong and people are going to hear it? And I know we can edit it, and I'm still like,
I know, and you say something wrong every week.
yeah, I know.
They seem to like it.
Well, yes. Okay. Wrong things.
Wrong
are fine.
things.
But, I mean,
how's your week been, Jana Banana?
well, it's been emotional one, actually. Lots been happening. Work has been busy. Yeah, I won't go into that, actually, because we didn't discuss this, and I'm not sure, actually, I want to talk about it on a pod. It has been emotionally tough week.
I did want to know if you wanted to talk about that, actually. I can edit it. You mean about the court case?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk? Because I think you should now talk about it, but not obviously naming anybody, but just say...
Well, obviously, there's been a court case with someone we used to work with who...
volunteer with. So you were doing some volunteering on a gay organisation.
Correct.
And you felt that you couldn't stay because you were not happy with how you were treated and how you felt other people
were acting or behaving, yeah. So we kind of raised concerns, but we weren't really listened to, which
you were seen as troublemakers and whingers.
So we resigned, and quite a few of us resigned as a result of that. And this was probably about 3 years ago. Well, that person that was in charge of the organisation was arrested last year and charged with quite serious offences.
Sexual offences against minors.
Against children, yes.
And so, really, this should vindicate you completely to realise, absolutely, you were right to say this is wrong. Something is not right in this organisation.
Absolutely. So, it doesn't make me feel good because, things happen to kids and that should never have happened. So, yes, that he's been arrested with his accomplice, and the court case has been going on, and the verdict is that they're guilty. So we're just waiting for the sentencing, which will be in June, and it will probably be a lot of years because they have been found guilty of some horrendous
and
things.
Multiple charges, not one or two.
Oh yeah, I think it's like at least 30 charges each or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's serious. It's been very emotional. Obviously, it's really not great for our community.
No.
A lot of people are gonna struggle with this, especially gay men. I really feel sorry for them because there's so many good gay men. And there's, it's going to make them feel...
But this is the really important topic. There is a big difference between a gay man and a paedophile.
Oh, God,
and it's the same as saying, a straight man and a paedophile. Just because a straight paedophile attacks underage girls doesn't mean you look at all straight men and say, that must be what you're like too. And we have to be exactly the same with the gay community. Just because a gay man, and it could have been a woman, but in this case it wasn't, is a paedophile doesn't mean that's anything to do with them being gay.
Absolutely. There's so much online hate though, and people do like to jump on that wagon of putting everyone in the same boat. Yeah. It's hard. It's going to be hard. It's very damaging for our community.
Well, particularly because the organisation was meant to be a pride-based organisation which was supporting the community in the region.
Absolutely. We'll see where this goes, but I mean, that organisation is still going, so...
Well, but do you know what? It's a bit like people who are paedophiles find positions where they can use power to get to the vulnerable. And it happens in sports clubs.
Yep.
It happens in volunteering across the patch. You can't blame the fact we have sports clubs and volunteers that these people are out there.
Absolutely. This is way too close to home. We worked with that person for a couple of years, like almost every day we were, it was in our home and...
Oh, God.
It's kind of hit hard.
And you had to, one of you, Molly, gave evidence, I believe.
We did, yeah. Didn't end up going to court because they actually agreed with...
They didn't actually dispute anything that you
said.
I
mean, her statement was more about the person's character rather than actually saying,
What
he's a
you
paedophile.
Well, because you hadn't seen anything that you could actually...
No.
Okay.
No, but, there were certain things that he would say or do that, or have relationships with what we thought were really young men. They were of the age that are legal, but they were way too young for someone that's in position of power.
Yeah.
And that just didn't feel right. And I remember that Molly and I both are youth workers, so we work with young people. So if a 38-year-old is dating 16, 17-year-old, it might be of a legal age,
But it's
red flags.
Yeah, I agree.
So we weren't happy with that.
Yeah.
Quite rightly. So let's not talk about it.
No.
Let's move on. Because I'm getting very angry and this is not going to be a good pod.
Okay, but an emotional week, and work's been tough this week for you as well, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, mental health is obviously a big thing at the moment. People really are struggling. We have a lot of concern for welfares and people that decide to take their lives on the railway, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough for everyone involved. Like, it's part of my job. I don't, I do it, but it's not nice. It's never nice. But unfortunately, I feel like it's getting worse. So, yeah.
So we need pods like this that cheer people up,
Absolutely.
And we've really started well on that today.
This is
So
this has been like the last one we did. It was 2 parts, and the first one was a little bit depressing in places. So we said the second one's going to be much lighter and happier, and then we talked about death.
Yay!
So we are smashing this.
I know, and then we spun the wheel of destiny on the letters, and guess what letter came up?
D.
So let's talk about death again. No, we aren't going to talk about death, but isn't that ironic that D came up? It really was random.
Yeah, a bit like me and you.
Random,
and also when we talk about D, I just, you know what I'm thinking? Dumb and dumber. I just can't decide which one is which, to be honest. I'll let you choose.
I think I might be dumber. Dumb? No.
It's all good.
That's harsh. Have you watched that movie?
A long time ago.
Yeah, it isn't really my sense of humour. It's that.
No,
it's too in your face.
Yeah.
Too obvious.
Didn't like it. We're better than that.
Yeah.
We're better than Dumb and Dumber.
Don't get me wrong, fantastic actors, and they pulled it off. That it didn't make it feel like they were acting, but still, it's that worried me even more. There are some people that are that stupid.
Yep.
So I did think we should talk about things that we do that are a bit stupid.
You tell me all the time that you do stupid things. So.
Yeah, well, I do.
And actually, I'd like to confirm this is very much true.
Thank you. Break it to me gently.
Well, there you go. Do you want to tell us about the dumb things that you do?
A little bit of preparation, as you know, we do lots.
Do we?
And the thing that I do, and I constantly go, oh, you're so dumb. Why do you do that? Get cross with myself, is I always, when I think, right, I make plans with people, or I have things in my diary and it says 11:30, you've got to be somewhere at 11:30, and I go, excellent, and I plan everything around 11:30. So it gets to about 11:20 and I think, right, 11:30 I've got to be, but at that point I realise there's a timing of transition, like I actually have to get to the place. So I might be ready to go at about 11:20, but it's a 20-minute drive. And then I get cross and frustrated, and if the kids are coming or Vicky are like, come on, we're all late, and yet I haven't planned. Why can't I go, right, it's 11:30, 20-minute travel time, that means it's 11:10, and then 10 minutes to faff to get in the car, we need to leave at 11, but I never think like that.
And this is why you're always fucking late. To whatever we arrange, you are always late.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you could do something about this dumbness?
Well, I think I need to, in my diary, write the time and work out that calculation I just did for you live, and write that in the diary too. So, like, rather than saying I'm meeting someone at 11:30, say leave the house at 11 is what's in the diary because I'm meeting someone at 11. I think that might help, because then when I look at it, I'd keep seeing 11.
And I've tried this with you. I'm sure we've arranged something and I told you 11:30, let's say, but I actually told you 11.
Yeah, people do that to me.
You were still late. You were like 11:45.
Well,
you were actually 45 minutes. Oh,
the problem with that is when I think people have tried to plan me in an extra half an hour,
You take it.
I will take it. I take the half an hour. So yeah, that
Sorry, I'm spitting again.
Again, I know. Look at you. So that I think is quite dumb. But I also Have you got any dumbs first?
No, I'm perfectly not dumb. And I'll got to be honest, for this one I haven't prepared because in my head I thought, yeah, I'm not, no dumb things.
Joe will have so much to say on dumb. I won't have time to speak.
Exactly. I think my dumbness always comes from not listening properly. I don't know what it is. Like, I just, this is weird because in my job, and please people, don't worry, I work on the railway, but I take information really well when it comes to railway. But like when I'm just like chit-chatting to someone, I pick and choose what, like bits from the conversation.
That you want to hear?
I guess so. I don't get it completely wrong all the time. And sometimes it makes me feel really dumb.
Is this like when you speak to someone back and you'll say, oh, you said this, and they'll be like, no, I didn't. I said this, this, and this. And you're like,
maybe, potentially. I don't read things properly either.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. There was an example. I'm just looking. I was going to a tennis match.
Yeah.
It wasn't a match. It was a practice. And there was like 4 of us ladies arranging to play together. Mm-hmm. So everyone's, yeah, I'll be there. And one of the ladies said, oh, I'm having a bed delivery, so I will potentially be a bit late, depends on the delivery and how it all works out.
Right.
And there was something else there that suggested that it was actually a bed that was being delivered. Right. In my head, already, she is a midwife and she has a bed delivery of a baby.
Oh.
Yes, this is how dumb I am. I got to tennis and she turned up. I was like, oh, good. So the baby came on time. Oh, well. She's like, sorry?
The bed delivery.
She had the fucking bed delivery from IKEA or whatever.
Yeah, she actually got a bed, you know, like 4...
Yeah, 4-poster bed, whatever. Bed, like a bed for sleeping, yes. Ah. But in my head, I think I just saw the bed delivery, and because I have been watching Call the Midwives, it just kind of connected in my brain that this woman, because I never met her before, must be a midwife, and she's got some kind of delivery.
No, so wait, you didn't even... She isn't a midwife. At all. She just said, I'm having a bed delivery, and you thought, that's a baby coming.
Exactly.
You could have even thought she was giving birth.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking, but I felt so dumb. They thought it was hilarious.
I think that's really funny.
Oh, but it's so dumb. And then I think on the same day, played this game, and I played this amazing shot, and we won. And we come to the net, and one of the ladies says, oh, how's Molly? And I thought she said, great volley. So I said, thank you. She said, how's Molly? And she's waiting for the answer. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, I thought you complimented my
volley.
I'm just not listening properly. Or maybe I am slightly deaf.
Yes.
Like you.
Yeah. So I had that a lot. So I now wear hearing aids. And it's because my wife basically said to me, either get your hearing tested and get hearing aids because they will tell you can't hear properly, or a divorce. Now, hearing aids are expensive, but a divorce is much more expensive. Ooh. So I went for the hearing aids, and she's right. I've lost the low tones, which means that if you come to our house and, like, Vicky's trying to get my attention, she'll suddenly go, Joe! At like the decibel that the dog wakes, because that's what I hear. So but it does mean that there are lots of times when I think that's hilarious when she said, how's Molly? And you said, thank you very much. That's the sort of thing I would do.
I just felt so dumb because when she said, how's Molly? And I said, oh, thanks. And I walked away towards my drink. But she was still standing there waiting for me to answer, like, how is Molly?
We've all done that, though. We've all done that. Please share with us in the... Lez-Come-Together @gmail.com or in the Insta, dumb things you've done, like heard the wrong thing. I think that's brilliant.
We want to know how dumb you are.
Like us. So I have got the topic now where I don't know, I think it's because of quantity information that we all have to take in. I am so often not reading till the end, like you mentioned. And so I will think an email comes in, I open it, I read it, and then I do something. And someone then says, did you not read the last bit where I said, don't contact X? And that's what I did, you know, because I give up halfway through. I'm like, yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Talking about dumb things, one more. How many of you have done this thing when you're on your phone talking to someone about something and you need to check something on your phone, so you start looking for the fucking phone? but you're already on the phone talking to someone.
No, I've never done that.
You've
That's
never done
so
that?
dumb. No, I have probably.
Oh, you have? Probably. I do it all the time.
That's hilarious.
I know. It's
That's a
bad.
bit like saying, where are my glasses? And they're on your head type thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't like that one. And maybe when I used to smoke, I've done this thing a few times where I would put a lighter in my mouth and try to light it with a fag.
I honestly think
dumb.
that is just when we're trying to process too much. And I mean, all of you will know, because if you're middle-aged and listen to this one, I know a lot of you are, and Amber, you feel middle-aged. That feeling of running up the stairs and going, why have I just run upstairs?
Why am I here?
I've come upstairs for something.
Oh my God, this is happening to me more and more.
Honestly, I think people say it's to do with being middle-aged. I don't believe it. I believe it's because your brain is just so full, because by middle age there's so much shit in it that the short-term memory clears out very quickly. And so you were downstairs going, I need to go upstairs and get my coat. By the time you're up the stairs, the short-term memories had to clear to make space for the long-term memory that's totally cluttered.
But hey, at least you're upstairs and there's a fucking toilet. So being middle-aged, you probably need a pee.
So do the pee. But you know, I really find if I think, right, I need to just stop, try all the noise, try and calm my brain down, think about where was I downstairs when I had the moment of going upstairs, and slowly it seems to be able to retrieve from the trash bin the short-term memory that was you needed your coat. Now, hello, hallelujah. And then I've done, great, I needed my coat. And on the way to picking up my coat, I see something and I go, attracted by the shiny thing, pick it up, go downstairs and get half out the door and go, I need my fucking coat. Back up the stairs I go. I mean, if anything other than, I'm at least getting healthier because I'm going up those stairs 20 times.
God, you're actually looking really well, I must say.
Thank you very
You've lost weight or something. You're looking fabulous.
Oh, well, I'm loving you today. I don't know.
Literally looking amazing. I mean, whatever you're wearing looks like you come into a meeting with me.
Well, I've got, I love waistcoats, and I found one that I could actually wear to work that doesn't look too crap.
I like it.
I'm going for the whole waistcoat look.
Thank you. I very like it. You're looking very dykey.
Another D. Well, before we move, I needed to talk about the stupid tax.
Yeah.
So we were talking about dumb things we do. And I'm sure all of you have had situations where you've done things that really you think that's so dumb. Like you've pulled out of the drive, not really thinking, and you've clipped the side of the car against the fence post. Or you've parked the car.
Molly did that last week. Don't tell her I told you.
Okay, so put it on the pod. It's so easy. Honestly, I had Vicky talking to me on the phone once going, right, I've arrived, I'm just going to park, and then you hear beep, 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 and then you go, okay, right, beep, bang. And then she went, oh, shit. Anyway, what was even more hilarious about this, right, is that she thought she'd put the phone down before she hit the car behind.
Why is she on the phone while she's driving?
She wasn't on the phone. She was hands-free.
Oh, you mean like, okay, pressing the button on the screen.
Exactly. So she's saying, I've just arrived at the supermarket. I'm going to pick stuff up and then I'll be home. Right? And in the time, it's going beep, 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 beep. Apparently, Isaac's in the back going, Mummy. Oh, no, it wasn't that. Sorry, it wasn't that. She'd parked the car, but she hadn't put the handbrake on.
Right.
So she'd rung me to say, I've just arrived at the supermarket. It's still hands-free. And Isaac in the back apparently is going, Mummy, the car's moving backwards.
Shit,
but she's busy. Crawled backwards, but then it bumped into the car behind. Right? And so she goes, shit. She didn't realise the phone was on. So what was hilarious is I got this answer phone message with her going, shit, hit the car behind. Shit. And I said, hi, baby, when I came in the house. She was like, hi, we had a chat. And she didn't mention it. And I'm like, And then we were sitting down for dinner or something. I was like, anything interesting happened today? She's like, no, not really. And I was like, and then I'd said about the message, yeah, I wasn't going to tell you yet. I was waiting for you to be in a better mood. Yeah, I did slightly nick another car and she had to leave her phone number.
Okay, bless her for doing that. Well done.
Absolutely, always does that because it happens a few times.
Wow.
But this is called the stupid tax, right? You do sometimes stupid things and you should have an amount in your head. So depending on how stupid you are, the bigger the amount. For me, it's £1,000 a year.
Wow, very stupid.
Very stupid.
Very rich.
No,
one or the other.
Very stupid.
Oh, okay.
And the idea being that speeding tickets, parking tickets, stupid things, nicks on the car. If they all get within that £1,000, you're not allowed to get cross. You have to write it off and move on. So, because you can get really stressed about these things, but we're all busy. These things happen. You kind of have to let them go. So have yourself a little pot of stupid tax.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Going back to Molly's, it wasn't really her fault. Well, it was because she was driving. But her customer, one of her customers, like built a new sort of gate and pillars. So where she's used to going out one way and turn a certain way.
So it's the customer's fault for changing their garden.
100%.
Right.
Bless her.
Sue them, I say.
Yeah, I felt so bad for her. And then literally that same day, I was rushing around, went to the multi-storey car park because I was rushing to be somewhere on time. I don't know if you know what that means.
Ouch.
Yeah, and I was parking really fast, and it was one of those small spaces, and it went beep, 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 bang, and it was like a little scratch at the back where I just didn't fit the car into the space.
So after giving Molly a hard time,
I didn't actually give her a hard time. No, stupid tax. I like it. I like it.
We're taking that one. Okay, so you were going to call me a dyke.
No, yeah. Do you like to be called dyke?
I don't mind it. I used to hate it. Yeah, we did, I think. But weren't you going to... Didn't you have a nickname for us? Dumb Dykes.
Oh, delirious dykes. No, it was Dumb and Dumber. That was it. Dykes, I mean, I was just surprised because I knew dyke also means something else. So I looked it up, and it does actually mean a long wall of embankment built to prevent flooding from the sea.
And that made me laugh because if you've got a really good dyke, they can create some flooding. But that's a bit dodge and a bit sexual reference. So, you know, if it passed you by, just let it go.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, dyke, I like, it's a good word.
Yeah.
It's a strong word.
It holds the water back or floods it through. Either way, great dyke.
Absolutely. So yeah, we like dykes. We don't mind being called dykes.
No. But I mean, it's friends and family and other gay people that you don't want to be shouted at across the street. Dyke, go, thanks very much, I'll take it.
Because remember, it has been used as a slur, you know.
Derogatory term.
Derogatory? You know, that one.
I know that one.
I'm a bit dumb, I can't say words, big words.
Well, this is interesting actually, because I would say some of the things that where I come across dumb is that with my dyslexia, sometimes I'll say sayings incorrect. I think I told you, didn't I? I told everybody that I was really proud because my son wanted to be a gynecologist. And they looked at me like, gynecologist? And I went, no, what's the guy that likes rocks? It's not a gynecologist. And now I can't think of the word.
Oh,
geologist.
Geologist. That's very different.
Yeah, but for me, geologist, gynecologist, too similar in my head. So... And it was only when I got that look, because he was only about 2, and I went, he wants to be a gynecologist, I'm so proud. And people gave me that look, and I went, I think I meant geologist, but they pissed themselves laughing at me. Aww. But so that comes across as dumb, but it's not. It's just that, and yours, again, is not dumb, it's that this is your second language. So...
Oh, this is true. Sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I struggle. I'm not dumb.
No.
You know, and it is true. Like, even when we do this pod, often I listen back and I listen to yourself, and all credit to you. You're amazing. You are so articulate. You are funny. I think I could listen to you all day long.
Oh, Jana.
Really, honestly, I do love that. And I listen to myself and I'm like, who the hell is that? And I'm like, oh, that's me. But, you know, and sometimes I struggle because obviously to do it with someone like you who's so articulate, it is hard to then listen to myself.
But your second language.
Yeah, but then I do kind of go, but do you know what? Okay, I've lived here a long time, but it is still my second language. I don't actually do the translation in my head anymore. I think the English is just there.
It's amazing.
But there are still words that I struggle. And to be honest, at the moment when I have to speak Slovakian, I actually struggle speaking Slovakian. So my English potentially should be a little bit better than my Slovakian right now, because I just don't speak enough Slovakian.
Because of the practice.
But there is still that mixture of like, yeah, I struggle. Sometimes I have so many beautiful thoughts, and some of them are in Slovakian, and they just don't come out as beautifully in English. So I don't feel like I'm very articulate, but, you know, well, whatever.
And can I just say that when I listen, I much prefer listening to you than I do me. So I think that's just the complete, as people, we don't like hearing our own voices back because it doesn't sound like I think I sound because of this whole in your head kind of sound. And I think we're self-critical. So
I think you have a fantastic podcast voice and you are funny. Just so I say that.
Well, I think you do. Otherwise,
because I did call you dumb and dumber.
Yeah.
Well, because you were both, really, to be honest.
Only
so
fair.
I wanted to make up for that.
Enough loving. Let's move on.
Kissing?
You wanted to come back to kissing.
Yes. So in last episode, we were talking about kissing and how it's nice to actually hold that kiss.
A long kiss. Yes.
My wife, Molly, in case somebody didn't know that I have a wife.
Called Molly. Again.
That one. Talked to me about how important the actual French kissing is. The saliva. The exchange of saliva between people is so important.
What?
Why are you looking at me like that? I can't answer why, because I forgot.
Molly, we need you now.
Molly is another one, and actually she probably almost tops you. She is incredibly articulate.
Yeah,
I listen to her sometimes. She's at the meet. She's incredible.
That's true.
So I really wish she was here right now. But anyway, going back to it, I think it's about swapping the saliva.
Yeah.
Something in your saliva, when you exchange it, helps like with the probiotics and stuff.
So like with germs.
Yeah.
So you should be snogging as many people as possible.
Well, maybe too many might be too bad. But like with your partner, exchanging that saliva, it's really good for each other's immune system.
Wow.
Apparently. So get
Snogging, everybody. Just think of the health benefits.
I know. I was going to say it would just spit, but...
Yeah, just say, open up. Okay, good. Moving on.
Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because I thought it was really nice.
Thank you, Molly, for sharing that saliva is good.
Next time, if you could come and actually talk about it.
Yeah, and really explain why, because I'm still like, okay, that's a bit like saying, when you go to the toilet, lick the handle because there's going to be so many bugs and it's good to get bugs in your system.
Well, that's not... See, now she is going to tell me off. She really is, because
you butchered whatever she told you.
No, I didn't. It transfers bacteria between partners,
right,
which can contribute to a diverse gut microbiome, potentially enhancing digestive health. Okay, is that better?
Yes,
well,
much better.
Read that.
So she actually sent that to you. Oh no, this is AI. Thanks everybody. But it's only between partners, so don't just snog random people because too much biodiversity can make you poop.
Studies suggest that couples who kiss frequently share similar gut bacteria, signifying a potential benefit to gut health from this practice.
Wow.
Get snogging.
Everybody.
That's what Molly says.
Get snogging. Good to know. Any more D's?
Oh, we've got loads of D's.
Okay. Yes.
Right. You wanted to talk about something quite important, dead naming.
So yeah, one of the gay words that begins with a D is dead naming. So dead naming, Jana's holding her head. This is meant to be slightly educational.
This is meant to be, actually, I think it's a very important topic, actually.
So you take it on then.
Oh, I thought you really wanted to talk about this. I thought you prepared for it.
Yeah, look, I've written dead naming.
You are so useless, honestly. You're more useless than I am. Dead naming. Okay, you start with what dead naming means.
Okay.
I'll talk about it.
So to dead name somebody is if someone has elected, oh, that sounds official. If someone has decided that they are not comfortable in their birth gender, they will normally, when they change the gender, no, this is getting wrong. So somebody makes a decision that they do not feel themselves in their birth gender. With that, they will normally choose to live in a different gender or without gender. You know, you said how articulate I was. Can we take that back now?
What the fuck has happened? I think you were prepared for this.
I'm not prepared at all.
This is all... You were talking about dead naming for days. I thought you got this whole... Right, okay, darling, it's fine.
Right,
Let's start again.
Right. Do you want me to explain it or you? Because I thought I was doing
Let's not
fine.
talk about gender. You don't have to talk about gender.
But is it not about gender?
No, it doesn't have to, because it doesn't have to be a transgender person that changes. Anyone can change their name.
Yeah, okay. But
it does apply to our transgender community a lot, but also non-binary.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Badly.
So just keep it simple.
Okay, start again. So what is it to dead name? Dead naming, Jan, I'm glad you asked me that, because I clearly know a lot about this. No. So when you dead name somebody, if somebody selects or believes that the name they were given at birth doesn't represent who they are, they will change their name. And then if you use the old name, they refer to it as dead naming. And some people don't have a big problem with that, because they may not have negative associations with the name that they've changed. But a lot of people, and particularly in the trans community, because often the name is a gender they don't associate with.
Absolutely, 100%.
Would say, this is insulting, you're trying to not recognise the person who I identify as.
Basically, I feel if anyone changes their name,
Yep.
whether they do it officially or they just use their new name as their preferred name,
which happens,
they should be respected.
Yep.
If someone says, this is how I want to be called, and whether that's because they are transgender or non-binary, or that someone just might have that really bad connection to the name they were born with, and they wanted to change their name, you should respect that. And why does anyone care? And why should anyone care? And why should they not understand that? Like, same as, being gay or being foreign or being whatever. It is who you are.
Yeah.
And this is someone that is now called that. Why would we go back to calling them their dead name? Now, dead name is not a very nice term. Do you agree?
Yeah. The name is dead to me.
Yeah. Now, I was talking to Molly, my wife, again, about this, because she runs a parents group, which is for parents and guardians of LGBT kids.
I thought you were going to say gardeners.
No, guardians.
Anyway.
So, she's a youth worker and works with the young LGBT kids. And a lot of them are trans, and a lot of them have changed their names. Now, once they change their names, that old name, or dead name, as we call it, is forgotten. It's just, it does not get mentioned.
Don't mention it.
Unless for some reasons, and sometimes it does happen that they do go back to that name. But once they've changed their name, that name is never mentioned. Now, the problem she has, and she's spoken to many of the parents of these kids, is the parents obviously do struggle with that a lot, because to parents, that name, and you'd know this because you have got kids, means so much, because you chose that name for your baby.
Yeah.
So it's a really real emotional kind of thing. But also a lot of these young people are teenagers, and, when you're a teenager, your brain just works differently, doesn't it? The empathy isn't quite there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
no patience for somebody getting a mistake. Oh my God, you're just crap.
So kids don't understand that, and there's this like constant battle and struggle.
And let's be honest, if you've called somebody a name for 18 years and it suddenly changes, it isn't that easy to turn your brain off. I mean, I can't even remember when I go up the stairs. I went for a Coke. Yes. So how am I going to remember the names changed?
I don't know.
But I think young people often think, how can you not remember? This is so important to me. This was such a big topic. You not remembering in itself upsets me. And I think that it's a bit of a conflict topic, isn't it?
It's all about having those communications, like talk to your children, talk to your parents, talk to people at work, maybe explain, this is the case, this is who I am. I think it's quite a beautiful thing that actually there's examples when parents and the children sat down and chose a new name together.
Oh.
And I think that's a perfect way, rather than the kid just going, well, no, I don't want that name. I just want to be called
You
this.
don't understand me. This is my
those
name.
parents involved.
Yeah.
It'd be beautiful. Or parents, if you think your child is going through a transition or they're going to change their name, sit down with them. Tell them, I know it's hard for you, but tell them, I'm here for you. Let's talk about it. Maybe we come up with a name together.
Yeah, I think that's a great
quite
idea.
A nice thing to do.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how much I have on dead
naming. Good. And so can I ask you about your name? If you were born again, would you have chosen Jana for you? Do you think Jana fits with you?
I think it does now. I didn't always like it. It's not particularly feminine name.
Perfect.
But but it is quite feminine. So I would have hated a really feminine name.
Yeah.
For me, it just wouldn't work.
Like
so
Penelope. Or...
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
No.
Jo is a good name. Actually,
Jo.
I'll be happy, Jo.
Yeah. Joanna is not a great name. It's a bit. Joanna.
Jana's good. Jana's okay.
Yeah.
It's got a strong name. I like it.
Yeah. But it's difficult. Honestly, we had to pick a name for a child, and the pressure of trying to pick that right name. And at about 2-3 years ago, Isaac said to us, I don't like my name. And obviously you go, oh, I'm really sorry. Ouch. You know, we were trying, it's really difficult. And he himself actually at one point did tell friends to call him a different name, and he didn't tell us he'd done that. And we kind of found out through the back door, and we did sort of like upset about it. But at the same time, we did say, you do get to pick your name. If you want to change your name, and it wasn't about changing identity and sex, it was about just he didn't like his name.
Yeah, I get that.
But he's back to liking it again.
Exactly, and that's what happens with kids. Teenage brains, they go through so much. So just how important really is that name? I know it is, you picked it and blah, 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 blah. It's just a flipping name.
Oh God, if Isaac wanted to change his name, we would go with it. Because
to this day, when I write a fucking card to you guys, I don't know how to spell Isaac. So you could have picked an easier one.
Do you know, that's the irony of this. I picked a name thinking I don't want it too long and I don't want one that people will struggle to spell. And then I realised it is actually quite difficult, Isaac.
It is.
Sorry about that.
Like really, I would probably spell it, if I didn't know, it would be I-Z-A-K, Isaac.
Well, I think that is how they spell it in some countries.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, Isaac.
Yeah.
And it's like I-S and double A. I mean, who has double A?
Yeah, you're right.
Do you know what I mean? Poor kid.
Well,
change your name, Isaac.
I love that. Who has double A? Anybody with a vibrator. Let's move on.
Oh, brilliant. Right, I think we're done with dead naming.
Yeah.
Or like some parents suggested they would prefer to call it old name. Dead name, you know, it is quite a harsh word. And in particular, like these young people, they struggle with so much at the time, and a lot of them self-harm, and there's a lot of death talk. So dead naming isn't the best word.
No.
I think the parents struggle with it.
It must make you feel like they almost want to bury their childhood. And that's not what they're saying. It is just that they want that name not to be used, because that's not how they associate.
Yes, listeners, do you have a suggestion how else we could call dead name? Like,
because even old names.
What other terms? Yeah, old name's not great. Think of it. Maybe we'll put it forward to make it change.
LGBTQI landscape. No, let's move on.
Decisions.
Oh.
It's a good D.
It's a good D.
I think, yeah, do you want to talk about decisions?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Well, I can't. I maybe. No, should we? I mean, I'm indecisive.
Me too. Jo, I think same as me, you struggle, don't you? Because both yourself and I, in our jobs, we do make quite big decisions.
A lot of decisions in a day.
And then, you know, you come home and I'm like, do I have an egg? Or do I have a boiled egg? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Vicky,
that's a stupid example, but
I don't make any decisions when I get home. It's
see, I have to cook. I don't come home and ask Mrs. what's for dinner. So I have to make a decision what cooking. But you know, like simple decisions for me are just so painful. Like I will go, and Molly, my wife, she will not take me to a supermarket with her. She will go and do the food shopping.
Yeah, good idea.
Because I am absolutely useless. I will stand in front of these things and I will not be able to decide whether I want the blue one or red one or wet one or dry one. Or oh my God, there's too many decisions. I just can't make it.
Yeah. But I do think that's a lot to do with if you are making a lot of decisions in the day, that you just get home and go, I'm done. No more decisions available.
Yeah. I think my wife is definitely happy with that because she does work. She's don't take this away from her because her job is so important for mental health of people and stuff, and it is an incredible job. But it doesn't actually involve making big decisions.
Yours could be life and death decisions.
They are serious, and you know, often I think about is how me, a little foreigner, gay woman, is in charge of making decisions of people's lives, taking trains on the main line between, well, I don't know.
Yeah, see, now I'm scared. I'm not getting on another train.
No, I do well, actually. I do
Yeah,
well, thank you
it
very
is
much.
amazing. I mean, I don't make decisions like that. Mine is about which account they get posted into. It really doesn't matter so much. But still, it's at the time, you know, it could be millions of pounds we're talking about
yeah,
where
it's
it gets
money.
posted.
I mean, yeah, that's serious. I mean, that could cost lives, to be honest. Money can cost life, right? Well, surely, come on. If
Don't call me Shirley.
Okay, Arthur.
You're dead naming me. I don't know. I mean,
Companies
not...
lose money. Someone's
no,
responsible.
but they don't lose money based on whether I post it to one account or another. It's how it's presented. It doesn't. But anyway, it feels like a big decision when it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do think, like you say, Molly doesn't mind. I think Vicky gets a little bit tired of it. Like, you know, why am I making all the decisions? She rationally understands that I'm quite useless when I get home, but it does frustrate her. You know, she on a Friday she'll often say, right, I'm going to do the shopping. What do you want to eat next week? And I've done the whole look at her and go, I don't know. What do you want to eat? And now I just know to come up with random food. I just go, I literally have like 6 things in my head and I just go, salmon, chicken, because I know that she's happy. It's not what I want to eat. It's just a rote learning that I've made.
You're funny, but sweet. Well, no. Weird, indecisive. But you're trying hard to please your wife.
Hard to be more supportive.
That stands for a lot. Well done. Proud of you, mate. Right.
So we were shit at decisions. Let's move on.
Can't decide what we do next.
Yeah, what should we talk about?
Diversity.
Do you know, this is why we have to do random letters, because we can't even work out what letter to talk about normally.
This is true. How are we even doing this, Joe?
I don't know.
This is, guys, and can I just say, and we appreciate you all, because we get so many beautiful messages saying, like, how you enjoy this or how funny we are and all this, but I'm like that means so much to us, because we literally are a couple of
dykes,
delirious dykes, unable to make decisions, and we're doing this, and it is hard sometimes because the time is not there and we're not very decisive and we're not very good at planning together, but we're doing it, we're enjoying it, and we love the love you give us.
Oh, and I really enjoy when I get to talk to Jana. It's great fun. It makes sense of the world.
Aww. What?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Diversity.
I think we're probably going to end on that, because we're getting
too many minutes.
Yes.
And diversity's a big one.
It is. I mean, every company now, right, has got their EDI.
DI.
Oh, is it?
Diversity, Equity and Inclusion. DEI.
DEI.
Sorry, I can't do it abbreviate.
In America, I think it's EDI. I think it's a DEI.
Do you know they change all the abbreviations all the time?
Diversity and inclusion, let's call it that. And
Equity.
I mean, that's a new one, actually. The equity is quite a new one.
But it's important, because it's not
Very
about
much so.
only people who are diverse should be achieving. It's equity, that everybody has the equal right
100%.
to achieve. And it's up to them if they want to take that right or not. It's not like all women have to have a career. It's you have to have the right, if you want to have one, that you would have an equal opportunity to.
Absolutely, and it's so important. And like, wherever you work in or whatever you do in life, I think that should always be present. And like, I hate that sometimes we get called woke people because of diversity that we're trying to push on people and stuff.
Woke. What does that stand for?
Oh, let's not go there. But because this isn't even like, I hate when people use that word, because first of all, clearly I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, you can't.
Woke.
It begins with a W.
Woke.
Yeah.
Woke.
Vote for us.
Woke. I don't think it's something we should be using.
Well, it's come as negative now, isn't it? If you're too woke, you're negative.
Well, yes, that as well, but I think it comes from the black people.
It does, yeah. African American, vernacular English.
Yeah, and we just throw in that word around, and like, I'm not sure people know what it actually means. And to be honest, I can't even pronounce it, and I'm not sure what it means. But I do know that I get called that, woke, because
you're gay.
Because I try to
And be caring.
Yeah, fight for the rights of women, rights for gay people, rights of anyone, disabled people, everything.
So, the original meaning was the alertness to racial prejudice and discrimination. That's where it came from. It was meant to be like woke.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
didn't
you not
know
that?
that.
There you go. Well, I kind of knew that, but I couldn't quite explain it to you. But yes, I think it should be just normalised, right?
Yes, absolutely. Equality should be normal.
Yeah.
But, and this is my issue, recently, because everything's become very right-wing, people are starting to say, maybe with what we were doing with DEI, we've gone too far and we've made the allies and the common person alienated because we took it too far. And honestly, I heard that and goes, yeah, maybe some of the stuff was too extreme. And then I said this to a colleague and she said to me, look, Jo, I hear what you're saying, but I've done a lot of research into the civil rights in the US. She's a black woman. And she said, there was a point where there was a lot of this sort of dialogue, people saying, well, you've gone too far now, your sit-ins, you're doing too much, you just accept that things are now equal and you should just pipe down and be quiet about it. And she also mentioned, the time when people are going, come on, gay people, you've got equal rights. Why do you have to snog in public? Put it behind closed doors because,
Why?
Well, exactly. And as soon as she said it, I was like, yeah, if something's right, then it's just right. It's equal. I shouldn't have to be quiet about it.
No.
So I don't agree, even though I heard some very sensible people talk about we need to keep the allies with us, and we do need to keep allies with us, but we can't dilute the message because it's inconvenient if it's too true. Sorry, it's the reality. It's not equal. We had this conference last week. Based on what we're doing at the moment, it's going to take 5 generations for women to get equal pay.
5 generations.
5 generations. That's not my daughter. That's not my daughter's daughter. That's not my daughter's...
That's crazy. We know, yes, that's 1,000,000 miles away.
And yet we know about it, and why aren't we doing enough? So diversity, really important.
Representation of all should be present with everything, like everywhere, right? Like, so every meeting I'm part of certain groups. Molly runs or is part of like hate crime panel for Surrey Police and stuff. And, there's diverse team, and there should be someone, from every part of the society, someone disabled, someone that's, from racially different, gay, and like
neurodiverse,
yeah, 100%. But how many things like this still happen? How many organizations are still out there, like Pride, that are run by white men?
Yeah,
that does not represent the whole community. Like panels like the panel I'm on, which is the advisory panel for Surrey Police. You kind of want to have people that represent everyone in our community.
And they're listened to equally.
Absolutely. Like, we shouldn't be having these meetings about really important things and they'd just be white women or white men or, like...
Absolutely. That's not diverse.
It isn't.
And I think Molly sent you something, and I thought it was so important. Today is National Down Syndrome Day, and it's making the comment that no decision without us, because these groups are not included in these decision-making bodies. And it's a bit the same, isn't it? No representation, and that you're trying to make decisions that affect everybody, including people with Down syndrome, gay people, black people. So, yeah, diversity is really important. And actually, there's really big studies that prove a diverse team is a high-performing, much more successful team. So we have to make sure that's what we've got.
So if someone starts shouting at you that you're being all woke and this and that, don't bloody listen to them. Do what you're doing. If you're fighting for the rights of us, gay people, of women, of disabled people, of anyone, you just keep doing it.
Yeah, we think you're
We're
brilliant.
here for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, and I think that is a wrap. I think we've done desperately, diabolically.
They're done.
We're just done.
I would say well done, but del done.
There's no.
Yeah,
Del. Oh, you.
You didn't get it,
No,
did you?
I didn't. I really didn't hear the del. I just heard well because I know.
How could you deaf?
I just thought, well done.
Well done.
Well done, you.
Well done, you delirious dykey donut.
Delicious.
I've really enjoyed this. I think we've covered some really good things. We've got to area of 50 minutes. So good luck to you people listening to this. Yeah, but let us know. How do you feel about everything we talked about? And please, please, please remember that we are not perfect.
We certainly
one
don't
of us
know
is.
what we're talking about.
So we do get things wrong, and we do apologise in advance.
If we've insulted you, her name's Jana, my name's Bob.
Bobina, no?
Yeah. Call me what you like. Just call me.
Call me. Right, Jo, it's been a pleasure as always.
Always.
Thank you to everyone listening.
Thank you.
We will see you again.
Soon.
Bye from Jana.
Bye from Jo.
Bye.